They were two of the biggest names in Hollywood, one, a heartthrob singer and teen idol, the other, a stunning actress with charm and grit. Angie Dickinson and Ricky Nelson may have never been officially a couple, but behind the scenes they shared a connection that few ever saw. Now, at 92, Angie Dickinson is breaking her silence, finally sharing the emotional truth about Ricky Nelson's hidden side, the one the world never truly got to see. Ricky Nelson was the golden boy of American pop culture. From his early days on The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet to his booming music career, Ricky became a household name practically overnight. With every smile and every note he sang, fans swooned. But according to Angie Dickinson, the boy America thought they knew was only part of the story. "I adored Ricky," Angie said in a recent heartfelt interview. "But there was so much more to him than the public ever knew. He had a softness, a kind of quiet sadness about him." Angie first met Ricky in the early 60s at a Hollywood event. He was already a major star by then, and she was riding high from her breakout roles. While there was an age difference, Angie being a few years older, they clicked immediately. Not romantically, but emotionally, spiritually. Ricky was so polite, so gentle, Angie recalled. He wasn't like the other men in Hollywood. He didn't chase the spotlight. In fact, I think it scared him a little. Behind the fame and fame-fueled chaos, Ricky carried a weight on his shoulders. Angie described him as introspective and often lonely, especially after his whirlwind success as a teen idol began to fade in the late 60s. "He never said it out loud," Angie said, her voice lowering, "but I could see it in his eyes. That fear of becoming irrelevant, that need to stay loved." As Ricky struggled to reinvent himself in the 1970s, launching his country rock band and fighting to stay musically relevant, Angie stood by him not as a girlfriend or a lover, but as a quiet supporter. "I'd see him at parties or shows, and sometimes we'd talk for hours," she shared. "He'd talk about his kids, his frustrations, his dreams, and sometimes he wouldn't talk at all. He just wanted someone to sit with, while the world saw Ricky as calm, cool, and collected." Angie saw the man behind the mask. She saw the insecurities, the creative passion, the vulnerability. "He was a brilliant performer," she said, "but he was also so sensitive. I think he felt things more deeply than most people realized, and it wasn't just fame that weighed on him, it was family." Ricky grew up on TV under the watchful eyes of his parents, Ozzie and Harriet. That kind of upbringing, Angie believes, shaped both his brilliance and his burdens. He had this constant need to prove himself, to show the world that he was more than just Ozzie and Harriet's boy, she explained. And he was. My God, he was. Angie never crossed any romantic lines with Ricky, despite media rumors over the years. But their bond was unique, a rare Hollywood friendship built on truth, empathy, and emotional honesty. "He'd confide in me things he didn't tell many others," she said, "about how fame can be lonely, about how music was his escape. He never said it directly, but I think he carried a quiet pain for most of his life. Tragically, that life ended far too soon." In 1985, Ricky Nelson died in a plane crash at the age of just 45. The news shocked the world, but for Angie, it hit even harder. "I was devastated," she admitted, "not just because he was gone, but because I always felt like Ricky never truly got the peace he deserved." Now, decades later, Angie Dickinson is honoring her friend's memory in the most heartfelt way by telling the world about the side of Ricky Nelson that never made headlines. "He was kind, funny, tender-hearted," she said softly. "He wasn't perfect, none of us are, but he was real. And that's what made him special." In a world full of flashing lights and fake smiles, Ricky Nelson was someone who felt everything and carried that weight with quiet strength. Thanks to Angie Dickinson's powerful words, we now see the man behind the legend. A man who laughed, who hurt, who dreamed, and who mattered. Ricky Nelson may be gone, but as Angie reminds us, the most meaningful stories are the ones never told until now.